Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. We are out here in the Woodland Homestead, or at the Woodland Homestead out in the goat pasture. We are gonna today make some real progress, hopefully, on the chicken coop build, or the goat shelter slash chicken coop, whatever you want to call it. The eventual goal here is the chicken coop. That's the main thing. We have to unfortunately take a few steps back, but if you haven't seen where we got this site ready, measured out, laid out, and trenched out here, I'll put a link up in the corner to that video. But let me take you in and show you what we've got, what we need to do today, and then let's get to work. All right, so we have the footing trench laid here, or dug here, and we had this has been a few weeks since I dug this. So we dug this down about 18 to 24 inches depending on the spot, and we put a bunch of rocks in here. So that was great. Unfortunately though, we had a lot of heavy rains which washed a lot of debris into my trench. And so now I don't just want to go and pour a bunch of cement in here on top of all the sticks and organic matter, because that stuff will decay away and leave a bunch of holes in the footing and cause things to crack and break and all that kind of good stuff. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pull out all these rocks. I'll just lift them all out, set them on the edge, and then I'm gonna clean the trench back out again. And then I think what I'm actually gonna do is start with concrete. I'll put a couple inches of concrete in there, and then we will put the rocks on top of them, or in the concrete. So the goal will be to bring this footing up from all the way up to close to the surface here. It'll probably be at the surface at this end here, which is shallower, and then a little bit below the surface at that end, which kind of goes into a hill a little bit. So we'll try to keep it level. And then on the top of that, we're gonna be starting to put our courses of mortar and stone. And so we need to let the footing dry, and then we'll be able to start that next step on top of that. So a lot of people have said when I dug this, oh, you need to go down to the frost line, and shouldn't the footing be 42 inches, which is our frost line here in Michigan at this level of the state? And the answer to that is yes and no. If I was building a barn, or a house, or a big building, yes, I would. Code is you got to build a footing down. For this chicken coop, we don't need to go down that much and pour that much concrete and do all that. The weight of this smaller building will not be that much, as well as it's a chicken coop. So we're just gonna go with what we got, 18 to 24 inches for the footing, and it'll be just fine. So we do have a tool that's going to help us out greatly today, which is this little electric cement mixer. So we can put a couple bags of 60-pound bags in this, fill it up with water. It'll mix the cement for us, and then I can just dump it right in the trench and smooth it out. So it's going to save us a ton of time and energy. Well, we have lots of concrete to mix, lots of stones to move. So let's dig in and get to work. All right, so that's 8 bags of cement there, concrete. And there's a little bit of a learning curve with the mixer. My brother-in-law told me it doesn't really mix if it's level. It needs to be tilted forward a little bit. And so I've been playing with the angle of it to try to keep the cement from sticking in the bottom there. And it seems to be pretty good. I can do about 2 or 3. I put as much as 3 60-pound bags in there at once. And I have a pile of these bricks laid in here. They must have left them here when they built the house. And so I figure I'll start using some of that as fill also. And so I just threw a bunch of those in there. I've got still lots of rocks. I just have to bring more over. But that's probably, I may go a little higher than that, but we'll see. I'd like to get all the way around with the cement that I have and see if I can get at least a decent footing poured before it dries. I still have quite a bit to go. All right, let's see what we ended up with. I had 20 60-pound bags of Quikrete. We didn't quite make it. Pretty close though. Probably about 6 more bags. Probably could have done it, maybe less. So we'll just finish that up tomorrow. I'm gonna let this kind of solidify. So on the top layer here, I just got it pretty close to level, and then I just stuck a bunch of stones in the top. That's gonna help when I come back with my stone and my mortar for the next layer. That'll help them all to adhere together. I didn't want a flat footing here, because then, you know, it just rocks rolling around on there. I don't have flat edges. It's not like I'm putting bricks or block on top of this. So this way I've got a bunch of different various jagged edges where I can mortar stones in and build this up. So it's going to be about 5 feet tall, and then I'll put some trusses or across rafters across the top here, and then the chicken coop will be on top of that. So, you know, we've got quite a bit of work to do out here. I don't know how much mortar it's going to take. I don't know, you know, how many bags of mortar, so I'll probably buy 20 or 30 at a time, and then we'll come back and just keep working at it as soon as I have time. Well, this has been a lot of fun already. I don't work with concrete very often. I don't work with mortar and brick and block and stone and all that kind of stuff, so I'm learning a lot, which is one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to do this, but also because we have such a huge resource of stone here. I figured it's got to be cheaper than building this whole thing out of lumber, but only time will tell once we finish on how much the cement and the mortar and all those things are going to cost. 20 bags of this Quikrete, the 60-pound bags, I think ended up costing me about $65, $70, somewhere around there. So that's what we have invested into it so far. This is the first thing I really bought. And then obviously we need to buy mortar to finish the rest, and we'll need to figure out some kind of roofing for it and other things. So there's going to be some cost to this, but I don't know exactly how much it's gonna be. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, the cost, as we go along here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little update. I will have a chance to work on this at least 1 or 2 more times this week. So there'll be some more videos coming out on the next, you know, layers or progress on this chicken coop goat shelter build. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Don't forget to hit thumbs up if you like this build, and of course subscribe to the channel if this is your first time here. There's one previous video to this where I started this all off and explained what I'm doing. This is the second in that series, and there'll be many more to come. So hopefully I have you subscribe and tag along. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.